Well, that's one of those. I don't see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on that list.
No, they said this is another group of commonly used passwords, and they're saying if this is your password, it's probably time to change it. People have used apparently Blink 182 a bunch of times. That is the most common band name used as a password, Blink 182.
Were you a fan of Blink 182?
You know, I didn't hate them, but I think what the deal is any band that has a number in its name becomes a good password because a lot of times you need to use letters and numbers, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I would think Maroon 5 might be somewhere on that list.
Oh, I see. But the thing is, I feel like, you know, yeah, you need letters, you need numbers, and then sometimes you'll need like a period or an exclamation point. But then you run the risk of like forgetting your passwords, right? So then all of a sudden you're like using the same password for multiple things, and you're not supposed to do that to begin with, I think.
You know, this, I think you're right. This program works best when people chime in and give us some feedback. But this is going to be a hard one. Christine's going to monitor the Facebook feed for feedback. But what am I going to ask you? What's your most commonly used password? I don't think people are going to share that. Obviously, if you're guilty of using what you think is probably an easy password to hack, you can let us know that, yes, I'm guilty of that, but I'm not expecting people to share their stupidly easy passwords with us this morning.
Yeah. I don't see, let me see here. Somebody, Catherine, says dinosaurs. I'm not sure if she said that before we started asking about this password thing. And, you know, oh, good morning, guys. Madeline, Jessica, Dorothy. Dorothy says Happy Days TV show with the Fonzie. Is that our next one?
Yes.
That's our next
jumping into our next topic. I'll just close this one out with this. Back in 1993, when the internet was just an infant, when the internet was just a baby. A baby. I was in college, and I remember we had to come up with some passwords to get into the computer there at the library, and I used, you just gave away the year, didn't I? I don't think I use this password at all for anything anymore, so I think it's safe. I used to use, sadly, as a 19-year-old, the initials, the first and last initials, and the number of 2 prominent Philadelphia Phillies players. That was my password. Initial, number, initial, number.
Dr. J was one of them, or
Philadelphia Phillies.
The Phillies. How about Steve Carlton? Was he one of them?
Baseball.
Steve Carlton?
I'm not going to say.
You're not going to say?
Yeah, I'm not going to say.
The old lefty?
I'm afraid that maybe that password is still active somewhere on some account. So I'm going to leave it at that. A Philadelphia Philly initial, number, and a second initial number.
How old were you when you?
Sadly, 19.
Yeah, I think I still have the same password for some accounts that I chose when I was like in junior high. So I still have some of the same passwords.
They had internet when you were junior high?
I think so, junior high.
Oh, they did internet when my mom was pregnant with Christine. What are you talking about?
I think that Christine didn't take typing class in
I totally
high
did.
school. Oh,
I did take typing class. And I think I was one of the last, though.
My kids have typing right now.
Oh, really?
So they are still teaching, which is obviously you type more today than ever.
Yes.
No, it's cursive that they're not learning anymore.
Right. This is more important to today's youth than the cursive nonsense we were talking about a week ago.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say nonsense, but I agree with the first part of your statement, sir.
All right, I want to move on to topic number 2 because I think this will be the talker of the morning on the Sunrise Extra program. Did I step on your foot there, Christine?
A little footsie, it's okay.
I apologize. Rod Hill, did you ever watch the show? I guess that you had watched this. I don't think Rod has watched this.
What's the show?
Saved by the Bell.
Oh, yeah,
definitely. No, I'd seen that. The kids in L.A., the school, they got the...
One character's name. All I need is one character's name. Don't tell them.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
One character's name on Saved by the Bell, Rod, to prove that you have, in fact, seen the show at least once.
Just one.
Ross.
No.
Nope, that was Friends.
Bill, Bob, Fred.
Extra credit for the first one of our Facebook followers who chimes in with the actual name of a character, not asking for an actor or actress's name, a character's name on Saved by the Bell.
I can picture their faces, but I can't think of their names.
Right. So while you think about that and others chime in.
Screech.
Oh.
Nailed it.
Okay.
Hey, high
nice
five.
job. I'm impressed, Rod.
Yeah, Screech, you got Zach, you got Slater.
Yeah, Zach. I remember Zach.
Slater, okay.
Kelly Kapowski, of course. Anyway, the Saved by the Bell cast is reuniting. So they took a picture, and I think we can share that picture right now.
Do we have it? Do we have it?
Okay, there it is, and Jay's going to show it on the big board.
Let's just see this.
They are, and they're all there.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, which one is...
wait, hold on. Let's see. Oh.
Which one is...
What?
Zach has the beard now? Oh, he does.
That's Kelly right there. That's got to be Kelly.
Zach has brown hair. Didn't he have blonde hair?
Where's Zach? I'm
She says this is Zach right here.
I don't think Screech is in the photo. Am I right?
No, he's not.
Now, Slater looks the same.
Slater,
much, right?
I can see Slater. That's got to be Slater.
And you see him
right
doing
there.
a lot of entertainment type television broadcasting today.
Yes. So you have AC Slater.
Yeah.
You've got Zach Morris, Kelly Kapowski. I forget Elizabeth Berkley's character's name. Do you remember,
I don't remember her name, but
Lisa
she was
Turtle.
tall.
I don't know who these fellas are.
Okay.
Well, thanks to our Facebook viewers, Jessica and Sue said Screech.
Yes.
Liz said Zach. So at least we got a couple. I think those ones are the two big names that I can remember, at least.
Okay, I'm bored with this topic.
Well, listen,
Rod is
the
done.
meat of the topic. I'm sorry, we got off track. The meat of the topic is this. It's kind of like guilty pleasure.
Yes.
Those who admit to having watched Saved by the Bell at some point in time.
Guilty pleasure?
Well,
Really?
like, I don't know, like
guilty.
I feel guilty to admit to people, oh, I watched that show quite religiously at one point in my life.
Yeah, but you were young, right?
I wasn't that young.
Ish.
I was in high school.
Well, the show is based off high school,
It wasn't
right?
a bad show.
No.
I think it was high school, but for middle schoolers.
You're too hard on yourself.
Thank you. The question we were going to ask based on this is this. What show, if you could bring back any show in the history of TV, what show would you like to bring back?
I'll go with the old WGM newsroom, the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Mary Tyler Moore
Oh,
Show. Rod going back to the
wow.
old TV land days.
Really funny stuff.
Actually,
Yeah.
I Dream of Jeannie, right? Is it?
I Dream of Jeannie, yeah.
That's not the
Late
one you wanna bring
60s?
back.
Yeah, with
Hold on,
early
guys.
70s?
We have a bunch of people who have
someone-
contributed.
Yeah.
Okay, so Deanne says Carol Burnett Show.
Oh, yeah.
People love that. Oh my goodness.
Mia, I think it is. Arabella, Dark Angel. I hate that they never got to finish it. David
minute.
Lewis, Gilligan's Island.
Dark
That's a good
Angel,
one.
can you chime in again, Misha? Because is that the one with Jessica Alba? Is that Dark Angel? Do you remember
Is it?
Dark Angel?
That sounds familiar. That does. That sounds
If I'm
a little
right,
familiar.
Misha, you can chime in because I think that Dark Angel was like Jessica Alba's first foray into. Thank you very much. I'm being
Yeah.
told by our producer that it was a Jessica Alba program.
Gilligan's Island, David. That's what he said. All in the Family, David again. That's another good one.
All in the Family, was that?
Miha or Mija? I'm not sure.
70s.
Archie?
The
Archie,
OC
yeah,
is
Archie
another
Bunker,
one
yeah.
My
that they'd
goodness.
love to bring
Yes,
back.
I
You want to
Family
talk about?
Ties.
You want to talk
I love
about
Family
politically
Ties.
Have
incorrect?
you guys seen Firefly? That was a good one too. If you like kind of more sci-fi type stuff.
Never heard
I
of
have not seen
Firefly.
Yeah, Molly said Firefly. Nice. And yeah, she says Jessica Alba was the one in Dark Angel. Yep.
Drew, did you chime in on this one yet? We were kind of talking about this a couple minutes ago.
I was going to say, well, I'm just going to tell you the truth. Sopranos. Period.
Sopranos,
That was must-see TV for me, like
yeah.
about 15
Good
years
show
ago.
on HBO.
Yeah, it's
15,
probably the
yeah.
last show, and sadly, it's the last show I really followed weekly. Like, I had to be there on Sunday nights when it aired at 9 o'clock or whatever time it was. I think I could catch the West Coast feed was 6 p.m. Out here, and that was a show that, I had to be there every Sunday night, and since that's gone off the air, I never really clicked in with the show that religiously.
You know what's kind of interesting too, and I would love to know what the business model rationale is behind like the whole Netflix, like we're gonna give you all 20 shows at once or all 15 shows at once, and then you're gonna wait for the next season. Like what's the deal with that? I mean, do they just get more bang for the buck with like?
I don't know if it's a business thing. I
to
just
our
know.
to our binge watching.
I was gonna say
addiction.
Personally, I like to binge watch.
Yeah.
I
You're
mean,
done in a few weeks if you really binge watch.
or like a day.
Or a day.
Which is sad. I mean, it's great when you're home sick, you know, for a day or two. But I mean, when you should be resting, like asleep.
Yeah.
But
The only show that I've ever binge watched, and my wife, we did it together. She loved it too on Netflix. The Crown, which has now been, I want to say, a good 2 years. In between the next season, which I forget. I think they put up a date where the next season's coming. But to your point, it's been like forever, and we're just kind of waiting for this.
my latest one is
Building
to reappear.
anticipation is what you're doing. You're building anticipation, Rod.
Yeah, you can only do that for so long. Now I'm just ticked off. Where the heck's the show?
Oh my God.
That's it. Have they lost you? Have they lost you as a viewer? Oh no.
Netflix has come out with some pretty good original shows.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I want to make a quick correction because we've called this viewer out a few times. We were calling you Mia, but it's actually Mia. I guess the,
I
the
said
J
Mia.
in
I
her
said
name.
Mia.
You said Mia.
But
Good
I
for
said
you.
Miha. Like,
Miha. No, it's just
That might have
pronounced.
been wrong.
It's like the J isn't even there. Now we get it.
Mia.
Thank you,
Okay,
Mia,
thanks,
for
Mia.
contributing today to the Sunrise Extra program.
Yeah.
Valerie Johnson mentions Three's Company.
Three's Company.
okay.
You ever
Watch Three's Company.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, the Addams
River.
Family? Dorothy
Yeah.
says the Addams
That's a
Family.
good
That's a
show.
really good one. Oh, have you guys seen Black Mirror on Netflix?
Christine, I haven't seen anything that was made really in the year from 2008 to the present.
Producer
Yeah.
Jeff
Much since you had
said
kids,
so
right?
good. Okay, I know you haven't seen anything since 2008, you said, but Black Mirror is definitely a good show to watch. I mean, it's like kind of a darker kind of series, but it talks about all the technology. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's about technology and like, you know, in the future, but kind of parallel with today and how that can go bad. It's so interesting. It actually really is. Black Mirror is awesome.
There's lots of things I'd want to watch if I had time.
Well,
yeah, totally.
I remember when I was in your stage of life, Christine, young, vibrant.
That was weathered, beaten down by life, and
without children,
beaten down by his coworkers.
Once you get the kids, that redirects your sort of television viewing habits. Suddenly, things you don't want to watch are on the TV, and then you're always concentrating on getting them to bed. And when they go to bed, you find yourself falling asleep as well. So TV viewing becomes.
Ours is now Daniel Tiger.
Daniel Tiger.
He's big on Daniel Tiger. We use that when we're trying to get him like.
You know what's cool though? How old is Patrick now?
He's going to be 2 next month.
I would say when our boys got to be about 4, I was like, sit down, I got something for you.
Sesame Street?
No, I was not going to look forward to watching Sesame Street with him. Scooby-Doo.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I love Scooby-Doo, and now suddenly we spent the next maybe a year and a half watching Scooby-Doo all the time together.
Wait, is it on a channel? Or you bought a box?
I think at the time it was on the Cartoon Network or something.
So it was on all the time.
Yes, we had it, and I built up that the DVD or DVR player, whatever it is, to record it every day.
Oh wow, so many people.
So you had no more room for the Sunrise Show, which is also prominently filling up your DVR, right?
Okay, one day at a time, says Jennifer and Jay. Lori says Route 66 or Route 66. I don't know.
Route 66.
Route 66.
That's kind of like Crick or Creek. What do you say?
Well, I think when it comes to the TV show, they only called it one thing.
I think it's a TV show,
Route 66.
Oh, hey, Paul Kenny, love Black Mirror. Yeah, see, that's another one. That's another person. I know.
Wait, these are 3. This viewer names 3 that I'm going to guess that Rod Hill loved all 3 of them. Go.
Okay, Taxi.
Yeah.
WKRP.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
So funny story. So I was working in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I got a job at WCPO TV in Cincinnati. This is when WKRP was still on. So I was excited. I felt like it was my first kind of big city job that I was going to. So for the week leading up, every time I took a shower, I'd be in there going, baby, if you ever remember. And I was singing WKRCP song in the shower.
Yes.
Okay, great little story there.
Remember at the beginning of the Sunrise Extra program, we were talking about passwords? Why did we bother doing that? All people are talking about right now is TV shows they'd like to see come back. So I should credit the man responsible for bringing us the Taxi, WKRP, and Cheers suggestion, Russell Barris. Thank you, Russell Barris.
Thanks, Russ.
For that contribution. Someone mentioning a show that used to be filmed right here in Portland, no longer, Grimm.
Oh yeah.
You know, I think the Grimm House, one of the houses prominently featured in that show at one point was up on Willamette Boulevard, the old like ghost house, that big, I run by it all the time. It's up by the University of Portland. Yeah, it's kind of creepy. Actually, I've been running there in the middle of the night occasionally, you know, before the shift.
Oh geez, seriously?
Yeah, and it's like lit up in like red lights and stuff. It is creepy.
Is Grimm still available, do we know? If you go searching on cable?
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, I mean, how could we miss Brenda Braxton's cameos?
I know.
Right?
How did she get those, by the way? That's kind of awesome.
This is funny.
I know.
I'm looking at another viewer says Jennifer Everts Brooks, Jennifer mentions Maude. Maude to me is one of those TV shows that when I heard the theme song, I knew it was time to change the channel. Personally, not a favorite of mine, Maude.
But one of many spin-offs from the great All in the Family, because you had the Jeffersons, you had Maude, and then you had kind of Archie Bunker come back in Archie Bunker's place.
Yes.
But that's one of the more spun-off sitcoms, I think.
Mama's Family?
Of all time.
Mama's Family? Was that a spin-off of? I don't think.
No, I think that's from the old. That's more from the Carol Burnett show.
Okay.
Can you name 3 spin-offs from Happy Days?
Laverne and Shirley obviously comes to mind. Oh boy.
I got 2 more. There may be others.
Am I going to know these when you tell me them?
Spin-offs from
I bet you a viewer will get this before Chris or Rod or Christine.
All I got is Laverne and Shirley.
I'm stumped.
3 spin-offs from Happy Days. Don't say it out loud yet, Jay.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm going to go Google this. Come back with the answer.
Very popular. I'd say 2 were very popular. One was not so popular. You name the most popular.
That's all I got, Laverne and Shirley.
There was at least 2 others. Can anyone chime in with spin-offs
Hopefully
of the
someone
Happy Days
can,
series?
because I got 0.
I feel like I have to look at this because You may not even recognize the name of the spinoff from Happy Days. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say?
They didn't do one.
Happy Days. You're
okay, I'm
familiar with that
Richie Cunningham, Mrs. C, Mr. Cunningham.
Okay.
I didn't watch it though.
Potsy.
Okay, 3 people have just chimed in with one of them. And it's not even the one I thought was most popular. Joni Loves Chachi was a spinoff.
But never really
of Happy
did
Days.
much.
Right.
I was kind of.
This other one I'm thinking of was a hugely popular show.
Really?
Yes.
And I can't think of it.
And it involved a bit character from Happy Days that went on to huge stardom. Like one of the greatest comedians of the last 30 years.
Well, not Ron Howard then.
Of the last 40 years.
Okay, what year was all
Great
this?
comedians?
Yes. So the Happy Days probably debuted in 1975-ish.
Okay.
Ran until about 1985-ish.
Okay.
I might be off a couple of years. Before what?
Before I was born.
Before Rod graduated college, we realized.
What's the name of the show? Oh, you got me.
I was waiting. There you go. Someone finally got it.
What is it?
Mork and Mindy. Mork and Mindy.
That's right.
So Mork was played by Robin Williams.
Yeah. Oh, no way.
Yes,
okay, I know Robin Williams.
And Robin Williams did a guest appearance on Happy Days as this alien from a planet called Ork. His name was Mork.
He has such a small part. That's why it didn't come to mind. He wasn't like a long-running character on the show.
But it was like gold. When they put him on the set, it was like, my gosh, this guy is awesome. He should have his own show.
Right.
And they got him his own show.
Dang, okay.
And then I think of that show as being more of a spinoff of Laverne and Shirley because not Penny Marshall, but the other gal was in that show, wasn't she? Mork and Mindy?
No, Pam Dauber was the co-star in Mork and Mindy. You're thinking of the co-star in Laverne and Shirley?
Yeah, what's her name? I want to say Cindy something.
Penny Marshall and Cindy Dawson? No.
Somebody come up with that.
Sorry for boring you with our trivia.
that's what people got.
Morrow and Mindy.
Yeah, Morrow and Mindy. Might be autocorrect.
Mork and Mindy was a spinoff from Happy Days.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then
Did you watch that, Chris? Happy Days and all the spinoffs?
Like occasionally when I was a kid, I can vaguely remember like I'd flip through the stations and what are you guys watching now? I know you big fan of Black Mirror.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I'm gonna have to put that on my list. That sounds
I think a new
interesting.
season has just is starting soon. I haven't even started watching Game of Thrones yet because I kind of want to binge watch it. I really don't want to sit and wait.
Well, there's like 10 seasons of that, right?
Yeah, you can get going anytime now.
No, Game of Thrones. I mean, like the last season.
Oh, the last season.
Which just started like a week ago or something, and so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Off the top of your head, what would you say are the 3 most popular TV series of the last 5 years? Like 3 must-watch. I know they're all from cable, I'm sure, or Netflix. What are the 3 most popular? Game of Thrones is one of them.
Game of Thrones is definitely one of them. Breaking Bad was probably Brian, producer, just said Breaking Bad. That was good. But was that how many years ago has it been?
That ended, I want to say, like 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
Yeah.
I know The Walking Dead. People really liked The Walking Dead, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying these are 3 that I have not seen even an episode of. That I feel like I got to get caught up on one of these. I have to see a popular show from the last 10 years.
Any Ozark fans here? Love Ozark.
J
Just got
It
renewed
was so
for
dark.
a
I thought it
first-
was
It is pretty dark.
I watched it for a little while, quite frankly, because that lake that it's based around, Lake of the Ozarks, that's where my mom and dad live.
Oh, wow.
That's where they retire, and that's about 50 miles from where I grew up, and we went down to this lake on the weekends.
Have you encountered any money laundering activities while you've been down there?
I will tell you, some of the stereotype characters on the show are pretty spot on for what we would refer to as hillbilly people in the Ozark Hills. But I don't know. I watched the first season. I started to watch the second season. I just felt like it was so slow. It took forever for something to happen.
Really? This started offing people left and right,
So I stopped
though.
watching. I don't know.
Anyway,
I think another thing is Stranger Things. That's another one.
You know, I was big into that the first season, and then we just never got into
it
the
dropped
second.
off?
Yeah. Jack Ryan. That was one that came out one season, and
like
it sounds
Jack
like
Ryan.
well, actually, I haven't heard that it's been renewed,
Christopher
but I loved
Pine?
it. Loved it.
Playing the new Jack Ryan. Am I
Is that the
thinking
guy
right
on The
here?
Office that played? Yeah, he was good. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, Jack Ryan, that was a good one. Handmaid's Tale, that's one people were talking about. I know that.
And Drew's still stumped trying to find it.
You guys are having a great conversation. I can't even participate because I've seen no new shows in the last 2
I
weeks.
cannot participate
He watches
in
sports,
this conversation.
which is
for Happy
awesome.
Days.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Sometimes I'll watch the family watches, like shows on Animal Planet. Like my wife and the kids love watching the show called I Was Prey.
Whoa.
And it's about people that like have lived through being attacked by a wild animal. And it's awesome.
I don't want to watch that.
It's real TV.
I kind of do want to watch that because what do you do, right?
Polar bear, you run.
You
run.
No, but that is not always the case. You don't always run.
I'll be fast. Trust me.
That's right. You're not supposed to run from a bear. You're supposed to just stand your ground.
Yeah, and look big.
You should watch the show because it really is awesome. And people have survived polar bear attacks.
Wow.
This woman that lived in Alaska
Polar bears are
was
massive.
walking home from her night she works as a bartender. She's walking home from her shift at like 2 in the morning. Didn't think anything of it because she always did. And in Alaska, depending on the year, it's still pretty bright out at 2 a.m. And like as she's getting near her house, what comes up behind her but a polar bear?
What?
And thankfully, she only survived the attack because a neighbor heard like the commotion outside and grabbed his gun. But I highly recommend I Was Prey.
Wow.
It's awesome. It's fantastic.
That's the stuff that nightmares are made of.
It's awesome.
But then you have hope that you can survive because somebody else did.
If your friend has a gun, then you can, maybe.
Basically, everyone who's in that show who survives, you get the same kind of idea that each one of them had this will to live, that they were not going to go down that night. And we could probably close this out. This is maybe the most popular subject ever in the history of Sunrise Extra.
What, the
TV
shows?
show you'd like to bring back. I'm
Really?
going to say
This is the peak.
We're on TV.
Well, I'm not
we're
saying it's
talking
the
about
best.
TV shows that we all
I'm not
like,
saying we're going to win any Emmys today. I'm just saying based on the number of responses.
Are there any Instagram Emmys? Do we get those out yet?
Can we give credit to viewer Ron J. Miller following us today on this Facebook feed? He brings up the show that I'm confident none of you have heard of.
Okay, what's the show?
It was a whodunit show called 2000 Malibu Road. Anyone?
No.
2000
Anyone?
Malibu Road?
No.
I'm giving him credit for pulling this name out of his hat.
Yeah.
He says in 1992, ABC had a whodunit show called 2000 Malibu Road. He said it starred Drew Barrymore and Jennifer Beals, so two prominent actresses.
Yeah.
After 6 episodes, ABC canceled it. They never resolved any of the story. They just left us hanging, says Ron, through Rod's coughing.
Maybe
so apparently Ron wanted that show back.
Maybe that could come back as an Instagram show or something.
2000 Malibu Road.
Gosh, I'm getting reminded of all these shows now. There was one called V that I really liked.
Oh, V was the aliens?
Yeah, the aliens.
Yes.
That was such a good one.
There was an old version of V, I feel
was
like
it
from the
named V?
80s, and they brought it back in the
Why
century.
she was named V or why it was named V, but that was a very interesting one. What was that one that everyone got on board with? And it was like the island. Lost?
Who wants to be a
Was
millionaire?
it Lost? I mean, no.
You're talking about Survivor? Lost? We're talking about.
It was Lost, and that was one that like just got me all.
Yep.
That had big numbers when it debuted. That was on ABC,
It was huge.
wasn't it? I believe?
It was huge.
Any Grey's Anatomy fans?
Oh yeah, Grey's Anatomy. I saw like season the first.
That ended.
Maybe.
Right? That's
I
over,
don't-
right?
I
Dr.
think-
Grey?
No, I think it might still be going. I don't know.
Well,
Isn't that Dr. McDreamy? No, that's a different one.
McDreamy. No, it's
And
not.
that's
It's
Grey's
Grey's
Anatomy.
Anatomy.
That's Grey's Anatomy, yeah.
Yep.
Well, I watched the Golf Channel. Here's to the Golf Channel.
Hey, that was some good stuff watching the Masters, man. That was.
Okay.
Jay, where are you going? You wrapping
I
this
think
up?
they're wrapping it
Jay's
up.
wrapping
We're
us
done.
up.
You're
We're
wrapping
done.
us, Jay?
Well,
We're
thanks
getting into sports
thanks to
talk.
everyone for contributing. Fantasy Island, Veronica, Good Morning Dan, Stanford, Alice. Have a good Tuesday.